On page 68, we're going to have a harmonization kind of training here. And for the first example, you'll see that they've indicated parallel triads in the key of C major. The first instruction is to play the left-hand triads. Okay, so you'll just do the 1 chord, 2 chord, 3 chord, 4 chord, and 5 chord, and then descending. So for C major, it'll be C, then up to D, then up to E, up to F, up to G, and then back down, F, E, D, C. Then you'll do the same with the right hand, C, D, E, F, G, F, E, D, C, then hands together. Okay, for C major, it's pretty easy. Let's try it hands together. 1, 2, here we go. 1, 2, shift up. D, 2, shift to E, E, 2, shift to F, F, 2, now the 5 chord G, now go back down to F, and down to E, then down to D, then down to C. But then, the author indicates that we are now moving to the key of D, then we'll do E, F, G, and A. So we're going to be doing this same exercise in 6 different keys: C major, D major, E major, F major, G major, and A major. However, in the different keys, we do have sharps. So for this, I recommend going to your scale book, and you can kind of follow along here. So let's take a look at G major, going around the circle of fifths. So G major here, we're just going to do the 1 chord, 2 chord, 3 chord, 4 chord, and 5 chord like this, and then we'll be descending. So you're going to ascend, but then you're going to descend on the way down. Okay, at that point. And we have 1 sharp, and I like to indicate my cautionary accidentals. So we have an F sharp here and here. Okay. So now I'm on G. So I'll play G, then up to A. Now for the 3 chord, we have an F sharp on the top note, then to C. Then the D chord, we have an F sharp, back down to the 3 chord with the F sharp, down to A, and then the G like that. And we'll do it in the rhythm that was indicated in the textbook, which are whole notes. Here we go. 2, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, now the 3 chord with an F sharp. Shift up to C, 4. 1, now shift up to D with the F sharp, 4. Back down to C, to the 3 chord with an F sharp, and now down to A, 4, A, 2, back to G. And notice how I am making sure to keep it steady the whole time. So that's G. Then we'll do the same thing for D major here. So again, we're just doing the 1 chord and 2 chord, 3 chord, 4 chord, and 5 chord. 2 sharps. So again, I'm going to write my cautionary accidentals. I have an F sharp. Then we're going to have F sharp, C sharp on the 3 chord. And then you're going to have a C sharp on the 5 chord. Okay. Let's try this slowly. You can do it hands alone and then hands together. So the 1 chord is going to have an F sharp. Going up to E, 2 chord, no sharps. The 3 chord has 2 sharps, F sharp and C sharp. Up to the 4 chord, no sharps. Up to the 5 chord, C sharp. Back down, 4 chord, no sharps. Back to the 3 chord, F sharp and C sharp. Then the 2 chord, no sharps. Then down chord to the 1 chord, F sharp. And again, take that slowly, repeat it several times just to make sure you are comfortable. Next, we're going to do the same exercise with A major. And again, we are just doing 1 chord, 2 chord, 3 chord, 4 chord, and the 5 chord. And again, I'm going to write my cautionary accidentals. We have a C sharp on the 1 chord. We have an F sharp on the 2 chord. We have a C sharp and a G sharp on the 3 chord. We have an F sharp on the 4 chord. We have a G sharp on the 5 chord. So every one of these chords has at least one sharp. Okay, and C sharp minor has 2 sharps. Let's try this. So A, C sharp, E for the 1 chord. Now we're going up to the 2 chord with an F sharp on the top. Up to the 3 chord, C sharp and G sharp. The middle note is E. Up to the 4 chord with an F sharp. Then up chord to the 5 chord with an G sharp. Then back down to the 4 chord, F sharp. Down to the 3 chord, C sharp, E, G sharp. Down to the 2 chord with an F sharp. And down to the 1 chord with a C sharp. You probably will find this one to be substantially trickier, so take your time, review this several times before we go on to E major. Now that you're comfortable with A major, let's do E major. Again, we're going to be doing just the 1 through 5 chords, ascending and descending. And again, I'm going to write my cautionary accidentals. The 1 chord has a G sharp. The 2 chord has an F sharp and a C sharp. The 3 chord has a G sharp and a D sharp. The 4 chord has a C sharp. The 5 chord has a D sharp and an F sharp. So there are a lot more sharps here. Okay, let's take our time. The 1 chord has a G sharp, E, G sharp, B. 2 chord, F sharp, A, C sharp has 2 sharps. 3 chord, G sharp, B, D sharp has 2 sharps. 4 chord has a C sharp. The 5 chord has 2 sharps, D sharp and F sharp. Back down, and back down, G sharp and D sharp, down, F sharp, A, C sharp, and down, E, G sharp, B. So again, this will take some work for most of you, so take your time, work it slowly, get it comfortable. The last one we're going to do is F major. And F major is pretty straightforward. Let me flip over to find it. Okay. And we're going to do the same thing for F major here. 1 chord through the 5 chord. And I'm going to write my cautionary accidental, which in this case is just a B flat. So the 2 chord has a B flat. The 4 chord has a B flat. That's it. This one's a little bit easier. So now we're in F. Up to the 2 chord with a B flat. Up to the 3 chord A. Up to the 4 chord with a B flat on the bottom. Up to C. And back down to B flat. Down to A. Down to B flat. And down to F. So work on that first, where you're doing the circle of fifths and just getting kind of comfortable with those patterns. Once you're really comfortable, then for example 3, we can actually do it as written, which is we're going to play them in the keys of C, D, E, F, G, and A major, and it's going to be sequential, and it's going to be ascending. So notice here they start in C major, then D major, and then it continues. So it'll be like this: C, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, then D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, then E, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, then F, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, then G, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, then A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Obviously, you won't be expected to play it at that speed. Just take it really, really slowly. Use a metronome if you need to. and then eventually get yourself to that point before you even go on to the next video. Okay, so it's going to take some time. Likely it's going to take a couple days of practice, I would say, to get to this point. So just take your time, don't rush yourself, be patient, and it's going to make a big difference when we get to harmonization. You're going to be a lot more capable.